adapt a small, ultra-brief intervention to the world of the faculty. You know, we are faculty and we're very comfortable saying, let's sit down for 10 minutes and focus on our inner thoughts and feelings. To me, that's an easy way out. It's a cop-out. Mindfulness is a state that you will access when you are willing to renounce what is most dear to you. What is most dear to most of us as faculty is our knowledge. So the Osho would tell us, can you renounce your knowledge? Because if you cannot renounce your knowledge, you cannot attain to mindfulness. Because whatever you're seeing in the world, you're seeing through the distorting lens of what you think that you know. And that is why I want to take you to an exercise that I have done with many international development audiences and different groups. I do it in 5-10 minutes. It's one, and I'll keep it brief, but it makes an interesting point. And I want us to recognize that as faculty, our mind is filled with so much knowledge. In fact, there's a Zen parable that says that a professor went to a Zen master and said, teach me mindfulness. The Zen master went into the kitchen, brought a kettle of tea, and started pouring it into the cup of the professor. The tea flowed all over, and the professor says, why the hell are you doing this? And the Zen master says, Professor, your head is full of knowledge, just like this cup of tea. And unless you're willing to empty that cup of tea, there is no hope of my teaching you mindfulness. So I want to show you how, to the extent to which what we think as our knowledge is actually a distortion and an obstacle to mindfulness. So I want to take a very popular concept. How many of you heard of the idea that there's a first world and a third world?
Param?
I want us to realize something fundamental to business and management education is the idea of economic development. Okay, so I want us to consider, is this a part of reality or is this a part of the distortion that our knowledge has created? So an exercise that I want you to just consider, or an activity, a demonstration, whatever you call it. Imagine that we are all, in fact I'll stop share and go just into this. Imagine that I'm an economist with a PhD in economics and I have traveled to Samoa, and you are the people of Samoa. What do I see? I see people dressed in leaves. When I see people dressed in leaves, do I stay with that experience? No. There's a chattering monkey on my shoulder that whispers and tells me, these people are dressed in leaves, they're poor. Next, what do I see? I see the Samoan people are drinking water and not Coca-Cola. What does my chattering monkey say? Well, these people are drinking Coca-Cola. They don't have any orange water. They don't have any Coke or orange juice. They're poor. And when the Samoan people have to defecate, they joyously sit down in a squat in a part of the sand where they will take the dump of the century, so to speak. What does my judgmental monkey say? These people are so barbaric. They don't sit on porcelain thrones and read textbooks on mindfulness. So notice what has happened in an instant. When I see a foreign culture, the voice in my head has said they're poor, primitive, barbaric. This situation I want you to think of in terms of lenses, because it is now shaping the way I see the world. So the first time my chattering monkey says these people are poor, I start wearing poor lenses and I see Samoan people as poor. The next time my chattering monkey says these people are primitive, I see the Samoan people as both poor and primitive. And the next time my chattering monkey says these people are barbaric, I see the Samoan people as poor, primitive, and barbaric. Now folks, how many of you can see that the richness of Samoan culture is invisible to me through 3 layers of prescription lenses? Raise your hand if you can see that. That's pointless because I can't even see you raising your hands anyway. So this is the reality of the Western economist, where he sees poor, primitive, and barbaric people. How can he attain to mindfulness unless he renounces that knowledge? If I have a 5-year-old with me who's never been to graduate school, he or she will engage with the Samoan children. She will learn your dances, she will recite your poems, and she will play your games. So who is the more enlightened one here? Somebody with a PhD in economics or a child? The child is the mindful one. And this is the conundrum of education. We talk about mindfulness, but in so many ways, what we are doing is just a replication of colonial structures, of looking at 3/4 of the world as underdeveloped and teaching global racism in the guise of modern knowledge. On that note, I want to end my presentation.